Okay. Microphone is back. I was just fiddling around with it. It likes to disappear on me every now and then. I don't know why. I have to drag it out from the basement. Found him. I got him. Rascally little thing. You know, you'd think for a stationary object on my desk it wouldn't be as rambunctious as it is, but it likes to disappear from me. All the time. Not in the physical space, but in the digital space. In the Digiverse. Ah, hello, Twitter. That is suggestive. I don't know why I'm surprised. I'm not going to elaborate any further. Everyone gets on my case when I talk about my Twitter notifications. I don't click on them. You think that how long does an algorithm... They don't read the cold shoulder very well. They just keep shoving you the same thing. Until you click on it, in which case that reinforces their belief that you want to see that content. What do I do? What am I doing wrong? I don't know. Anyway, here's Clip Studio. And now for something completely different. Oh boy, renewed vigor is what I would. Is my limiter off? I'm so loud. Let me just lower my own decibels a little bit. Like, just lower myself by like 2 decibels. That seems way better immediately. Much more well balanced. I was almost peaking my mic before. Now it seems better. Okay, good. Good. Now we can do the artwork, as it were. Zotan, where you been? None of your business. Also, asleep is the most likely answer. I've been designing characters. Specifically one character for this panel right here. And I have a composition here, but I'm not too satisfied with it, so I might redo it. Oh, I forgot I have to... Well, this is going to be a real heck of a time. I forget if I don't open, like, the pen settings application for my tablet. For some reason, Clip Studio is all messed up. I don't know when this started happening, or why it won't save my pen settings when this XP Pen software isn't open. Maybe I got the wrong drivers installed. I don't know. But I have to open up the pen settings and then Clip Studio Paint, and then it seems to work normally. I don't know why. Technology is so helpful. It makes all of our lives so much easier. I, for one, think we peaked at the pulley system. A lot of the levers as well. After that, it's all just been free, whatever. It's just, we don't need it. What has an inclined plane ever done for me? Nothing. Just use an elevator, dang it, dude. Gonna transform this lad horizontal-like. There he goes. Raise him up. And we got this new character here. He's been mentioned. If you could read the dialogue, you would know that I've mentioned him a couple times, but you can't because I haven't let anybody see the words on screen except by accident on a couple occasions. But I did have to refresh my memory on how to draw older people. Because I didn't want to be one of those people. It happens all the time, even in the most professional anime studios and works and adaptations of styles similar to that, where you design an old person and they just look like a young person with an extra wrinkle near the eyeball, and that's just like, so... It's so weird. It's almost Uncanny Valley type stuff. Like, just design an old person. Why are we so afraid to make old people in the artwork? Some people do it great. I had to reacquaint myself with the philosophies of designing an older human being, so as to not make them look like some sort of weird baby-faced, or like even like a teenage-faced person disguising themselves poorly as an old person. Which is, it happens so often. Even just looking up old person anime style, that's all you really need to do. You'll see so many weird, bad examples of how it has been done really poorly. So I'm trying to avoid that. There's also some great examples, though, of how just designing an old person can be cool. And if it's not cool, it can even, you know, just conveying any sense of realism in the abstraction. Because when you look at old people, they don't look like teenagers with wrinkles. They look like old people, for a multitude of reasons. If they do look like a teenager with wrinkles, you're not looking at an old person, you're just looking at me. Because I have aged well beyond my years. I predict within my lifetime I'm going to be full John Carpenter style. The dude has looked 80 for 60 years, so... That's probably a little extreme, but it feels right to say. But anyway, I've been working on old people designs. Mainly for this one guy. We'll see how it goes. I haven't drawn him from this angle, so I'm trying to figure that out on the fly. It's also just a thumbnail. It doesn't need to be perfect. But it should be. No. That's too much pressure. But again, it's all about choosing what you want to show. It's difficult because the reason I assume it happens so much in anime is because it's a style built around abstraction and reduction of detail. And wrinkles, it's very hard to balance what you're showing and what you're not showing. And that's just part of what comes with being old. You got wrinkles on your face. How are they going to depict those, but also not convey too much detail as to... render the abstraction uncanny in and of itself. That's what happens. It's just a balancing act of avoiding the uncanny valley. He compliment old goblin. I'm not old, I just look that way. I was just drawn that way. But what's up, Mask? How's it going? So what happens when you get all the face starts drooping, the wrinkles start forming as a result, the features start compressing. It's all very basic stuff. But it's hard to depict on a face when you're stylizing it. You're making breakfast, brother? I made breakfast like... how long ago? 5 hours ago? 6 hours ago? Where you been? Calling me old? You got the old-timer schedule all set up already. You gonna go to bed at like 7 p.m.? It's 11 right now? Yeah, that's like prime brunch material. Oh my god, this no, what does fool's face look like? I was designing him. I'm almost embarrassed to bring up But I woke up late. Yeah, that'll happen. I wake up at random times. I wake up multiple times a day, because my schedule demands it. See if I can get this composition ironed out today. I was debating on whether or not I want to make this a spoiler panel, but it doesn't really need to be one, because you don't really know any context for this man or who he is or what's happening. Based on, other than the visual indicators here, so I figured it was fine. So I've decided to leave them in, so we will save the spoiler panels for yet another stream. I haven't had to use one yet. It'll be interesting when I do use one to see if anybody can theorize or speculate about what's happening, or why I've decided to use one. And censorship. No, it's important. If you knew what was happening in the story, you wouldn't go read it now, would you? Well, you might, but not everyone else. Nobody else would. If you already know what's going to happen in the story, the odds of you reading it anyway, very low. Reading it a second time? I barely read things the first time I do it. Want me to go back for seconds? That's needlessly demanding. I would, well, I respect that. But I hold very little faith in others in general. Is that just a me thing? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really have statistics to back up the effectiveness of censorship boxes. I've just seen other streamers who make comics on stream do them. Because why wouldn't you? If you want to preserve a big moment, that's the only way you do it. So I've decided I would start doing it also. I read Solo Leveling 4 times. I can't help you there. I mean, at some point, you already know it's gonna... How many more times do you need it to read it to know that he's gonna level up? I can't say I haven't done the same, though. I have watched Hunter x Hunter, like, biannually, like once every 2 years. Basically since I first watched it. So I'm no stranger to revisiting media more times than it would probably be applicable for most people to say that they watched a series. I gotta learn how those Twitter artists draw battle damage. I don't want to know exactly how they draw it, because they only do it to make it horny. That's not why I draw things. Not yet, anyway. I could be persuaded for the right amount of millions of dollars. Hypothetically speaking. I'm not one of those Fire Emblem artists. Not everything needs to be horny. Only some of the things need to be horny, not all of it. Have some respect, have some class, why don't you? I don't know who I'm yelling at. I guess those Fire Emblem artists. But they're just doing their job. I'll yell at the executives and say, it's always the freaking executives. Never yell at the artists, always yell at the people in charge of them. That's how it goes. For example, that Velma show that came out, god-awful, everyone agrees, terrible writing, terrible everything. But the art, it was pretty good. You can't really fault the show's art. It was pretty decent. So don't insult the animators work so hard to turn piles of garbage into something slightly less garbage. It doesn't work all the time. Because sometimes the script you are working with is so god-awful, nothing can preserve it. It was better off left in the cutting room floor, on the cutting room floor. On the chopping block, amidst the guillotine. It was, it should have been left French Revolution style, I don't know. Take your pick. Should have been given the proverbial electric chair. You know, honestly, we're talking about that writer's strike. Listen, there is a benefit to this writer's strike happening right now. I'm sorry that to all of the bad writers, to all of the writers as an industry, okay, I'm sorry that you weren't getting paid. To all of the bad writers who continuously just chucked out schlock to meet deadlines even though they were rushed, and I understand it to a degree, I'm glad you're not getting paid. Those people who just made a bunch of garbage because they had to, I'm glad that temporarily, at least, the industry is on hold and we don't have a bunch of horrible steaming piles of garbage being cranked out every other week as a result of this writer's strike going on. There's one artist I will blame, the Rent-A-Girlfriend mangaka. For what? For what specifically? I've already forgotten what I'm talking about. Rent-A-Girlfriend is about daters decide to use data Rent-A-Girlfriend blah 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 blah. Oh, you're talking about battle damage? Is that what we're talking about? I literally don't know. Being cringe, yeah, and okay, that's fair. I mean, it's got 7 out of 10 on my anime list. But those guys, it's like Google reviews. If it's a 7 out of 10 or higher on my anime list, it might as well not even be an opinion. It's a really bad story. The Google reviews rarely give anything less than a 5. Unless it's like real bad. To the point where it's like you don't even need Google reviews to know what you're getting into. Like, this is the constantly on fire hotel. We're known for having everything be hot, hot, hot. Complimentary water bottles. You'll need them. But the drawing is good? Yeah, that's the problem with that. That's always the problem. Sometimes you do need a writer to guide an artist in the right direction. Some artists are just not meant to be writers. I'm hoping I can prove myself not among those. I'm trying real hard. I've learned a lot about writing, and I'm putting it into practice right now. Right before your eye. Have you seen Gurren Lagann? I have, multiple times. That there is a good story. And it's interesting how it actually shifts genres halfway through. It becomes a deconstruction of its own genre. I love it a lot. They say it's pretty good. I'd say it's very good. With the exception of one episode. And it is a hot spring episode. It's a very much a I don't even know why it has a filler episode. I think it's because it was trying to be a deconstruction of the mecha genre and a bit of anime in general. So it felt the need to put that in there. And it even has like a different animation studio that was worse for that episode. It's just weird. It's a weird episode. If you watch Gurren Lagann and you look up, you'll know the episode when it comes on and you start looking up people talking about it. It's just a weird set of circumstances that even led to it existing. I've been wanting to see it. It's great. 95% of the time is a great show. And the transition from... There's like two halves of the show. First half, really good. Second half, amazing. And I won't say anything other than that, because if you start saying a little bit more than that, it gets into territories of spoilers. I won't tell you anything about it, other than you should see it. Kamina is the GOAT, one of the GOAT anime protags for sure. And all the memes that came out of that show, like 100%. Just believe in the me that believes in you. The robots run off of fighting spirit. It's the most anime tropey garbage of all time, and it works. It's absurd how they did it. See Olimar busting it down in Times Square? No, but I have a feeling I'm going to as a result of my answer. Very soon. I did see some Olimar reaction images popping up on Twitter, so I guess he is at the very least in the public consciousness again as a result of that. I had wondered why Olimar was being, why he was cropping up a little bit more than usual. I didn't realize Pikmin Times Square was a thing I'd have to be looking up to get the context for that, but here we go. Pikmin Times Square. Pikmin 4 fans are paying for ads of the game to appear over Times Square. Wait, the fans are paying for it? Why? On Twitter. I didn't go to Twitter first. Let me go to Twitter. Which is a sentence I hate saying. Doodly. Why did y'all put a Bulbmin pic in the middle of Times Square? Buy Pikmin. I don't see him busting it down. Oh, here it is. I see him busting it down. Oh, he's backing it up, dude. You undersold busting it down. My man is going full Corky at night right now. From somebody who tweeted, I just violated the entirety of New York City in case anyone missed it. Yeah, I found it. I found it from this dude named Pachi. What a legend. What is the approval office like for ads in Times Square? How do you get that job? Because I feel like I want that job. I just want to be the guy who sees everything that runs by the desk for the billboards in Times Square and has to be like yes or no. And they see Alamar twerking and they're like, well, it doesn't break any rules, so I guess I guess we have to do it. I guess Alamar twerking and buy Pikmin 4. It just has to run it. They paid so much money for this. It's like that Nicolas Cage movie where he's being a weirdo. Is that a Nicolas Cage? Is it the one where he pretends to be a vampire or not actually a vampire? Or like he thinks he's a vampire? I gotta remember that. Vampires kiss. He does become a vampire in that one? I don't remember. It's weird that he's kind of come full circle with Renfield, in which he becomes Dracula again. That's interesting. And you have to do it. And he opens his eyes wider than the Pacific Ocean. The pools of his eyes. Very turbulent waters, those ones. I would not want to get lost in Nicolas Cage's eyes. I don't know what's going on in there. How do I draw this the way I want to? Maybe if we put... The composition still seems a little flat. Maybe if we put this guy in front, let's see what that would look like. Just in a way. He's like reaching back for him or something. Then we could blur him too. All these Pikmin memes that made me want to play the game. Makes me want to pirate the Switch again. Pirate the Switch. You could just emulate it on GameCube if you really need to. Or even the Wii U, I think. I think they had Wii U ports. Or is that just Pikmin 3 released on Wii U? I don't remember. And do you really want to pirate the Pikmin games, Mask? They're all about adhering to a strict capitalist lifestyle. You're supposed to support the corporations that oversee your every life's decision. That's how it works. You gotta pay off your debt. Fulfill your duty and your quota to your company of choice. And all the while barely surviving on juice. They took out the Duracell? What? How dare they? It's like if Monkey Ball took out their Dole sponsorship. Or partnership. I don't even know what you call it. Wouldn't make any sense. I don't know what my goal is for today's stream. Maybe get the base layers in after I finish the line art. The line art's already pretty much done, but I never know how much more I'm going to do with it, especially with this new panel I'm doing right here, now that I've settled on a character design for this guy right here. Baldur's Gate 3's out in early access. That game looked interesting ever since I saw the bear scene, and if you haven't seen the bear scene, don't look up the bear scene. But it's very Dragon Age or Mass Effect in its construction. I can give it that much credit. It's bold in ways. You know a game's destined for a strong release when seeing the first exposure to the content of the game is something that makes you question, is that bestiality? I'm not going to elaborate. I refuse. The developers already have made me posture this question to myself, so they don't deserve any more advertisement from me. How dare they make me think about bear sex? I already think about that enough as it is. I don't need any more exposure to it. Like the panda bears, they're not doing it at all. They're gonna go extinct because of how little they do it. And a world without pandas is a world that, for me, would not be too much different. But it would still be sad regardless, just knowing that they're not there. I do gotta commend panda bears, though, for being able to subsist entirely off of plants and being that large. The world's beefiest vegans on the planet. You can't beat them. What else do you got? Elephants, maybe? Pretty large. Pretty sure they don't eat meat, either. If an elephant did ever get a taste for human flesh, though, it would be over. We would be donezo. They're so lazy. Yeah, that's another thing. Too lazy to reproduce as well. Like, how are you too lazy to do that? And then I look at myself and I've never even pursued a partner. I'm like, ah, I get it. Nah, I actually get it 100%. Too lazy to bone. So much commitment. There's that quote that goes something like, it takes one hell of a partner to beat no partner at all, and I gotta say, it's true. Takes a lot to motivate someone to get off their ass and do anything. You don't even gotta find a life partner. Even just finding someone to, like, date or hang out with is like, oh, I was not planning on this today. I was planning on sleeping, which is what I do normally. So the only way somebody could encounter me is if they talked to me while I was sleeping, and if somebody ever did that, they would certainly not be a candidate for romance or romantic pursuits. They would be in prison, I think. Someone, if I woke up as someone in my room, be like, hello. Would you consider pursuing a romantic relationship with me? I don't know. I would be, first of all, I'd be screaming so loud. These shoulder pads that I have designed suck so bad. I hate that I did them this way. They're so round. So ambiguous in their actual shape. Shoulder plate pauldron. They're pauldrons. I know what they're called. I know. Don't think I don't know. One thing I did when making the story is I researched a bunch of stuff that I will never actually have to know, but it was nice to know in the process of researching. I brought it up before, like, can air combust? Nope. It can't. Only the stuff using it as fuel to burst into flame. I watched a video earlier today on the topic of writing, since I brought up the writer's strike earlier, about the propensity to hide bad writing behind the accusations of bigotry, and how people, more frequently these days, they're using it to justify writing horrible female characters, or writing them just badly. It's like, well, you just don't like our strong female character. You're just bigoted. It's like, no. No, let me tell you. The real problem, and you're not going to like this, is that you're bad at writing. I know. It's hard to hear. But you're just bad. You're not a good writer. If you write a strong female character in the way that they encapsulate sort of the very characteristics that you despised in a male protagonist. Or any otherwise inclined protagonist. They make them smug, they make them demeaning, they make them belittling, they make them overpowered from the start, full-on Mary Sue style. It's like, if any of these, and most of these characteristics, in some combination were present, in any other character archetype, or any other character presentation, like male or otherwise, people would not like the character regardless. So the fact that it's a female character, it's not the problem. It's the fact that it's a bad character being dressed up as a good character. By people pretending they know what they're talking about. They're not even activists, because they're actively detracting from their own movement. They do they talk about, the video talked about as well, the Rings of Power television show, and it brought up a dynamic that so commonly shows up, where the main female protagonist is this very strong, badass warrior lady. But all of these other hand-picked warriors set out on this very specific mission, the same one as our strong female protagonist lady, they just get whomped. They get freaking owned by whatever creature they're fighting. Like, she's all doing these flips and dips and dives and beating up monsters and stuff. And all these every other member of this elite squadron, they're just getting completely owned. All these dudes, these random guys, like whatever. And they don't even realize how much they're undermining their own strong female protagonist. Because it's like the hidden narrative there implicit within the things you are showing on screen is that she cannot be strong unless everyone around her is weak. And it's like the real way you show a strong character, regardless of who they are, is by showing them struggle. With the adversity, the showing that the adversity they face is a warrant of struggle and worry and all of that, you know? It has to be a real problem. It makes it all the more satisfying when they overcome it, regardless of who they are. The solution is to write a character first and tell the story. Don't just prove a point with your character. Don't try to prove a point with your character. Then you're doing it wrong. I have made careful notice, or I did in the earlier planning stages of this story. I think I've moved past it now. I think I'm in a good headspace where my characters, I could flip a coin, or maybe more accurately, roll a die, roll some dice, and determine the identity of my characters and not have it matter. Because my story doesn't commentate on gender too much. There's a couple characters that will touch on it, but it's not the main theme of my story. If it was, I would have paid more attention to what I was saying in regards to how I was presenting those characters. But I'm not, so I won't. I'll stay in my own lane. And that gave me the luxury to basically just write characters. If any of the genders of any of the characters that I've written were changed in any way, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't affect the story because I've written characters. More so for how they relate to a theme. Because that's a storytelling pillar there. There's like 4 main storytelling pillars that I've settled on for my own personal philosophy. You need characters, because without a character, what are we following? Nothing. There's nothing to follow without a character. You need a character that has motivations, because without a motivation, what are we even doing this for? They need to have a goal. If they don't have a goal, then they're not a character. They're just like a dude. It's like me. If I was getting toast, that's not interesting. That actually could be a goal. If me getting toast is more interesting than your character, then you have not given them chances are you have not given them a good enough motivation. It's important. And then those motivations need to be tied around a theme. Some people are resistant to themes. I've seen this on the writing subreddit. I've been on r/writing quite a bit ever since I started working on this project here. And some people, they have conflicting notions on a theme. I, for one, personally believe that you need a theme. Because if you're not saying anything with your story, then there's no story to tell. You're not doing much of anything. A theme should be a message. It doesn't even have to be a lesson, really. It just has to be a message. It has to be what you're trying to say. Because if you're not trying to say, you are as much of a character as any of the people in your story that you're writing. Because when you talk about a theme, if you're doing it right, you should learn more about it and grow as a person the more that you research it and look into it and examine it through the lenses of your characters on all sides, even your antagonists. So those are the 3. You got 3 pillars. What is it? I got characters that need motivations built around a theme, and then the 4th one. I thought about it earlier today. I seem to have forgotten it now, but there's at least the 3 there. Those are 4 fundamentals to storytelling, in my opinion. I had a 4th one earlier. I'll see if it comes back to me, but for the most part, those ones hold up pretty consistently. You only need those. Oh yeah, and here's what it was. The theme needs to... Characters 1 need a motivation, that's 2. Tied around a theme, that's 3. And that needs to lead them into conflict, that's 4. Characters with motivations tied around a theme that lead to conflict. Those are the 4 pillars of storytelling. That's all you need. If you can figure that out, you can write anything. And it's so interesting to me that so many people overanalyze that to the point where they fail, or they don't even think about that at all to the point where they fail. And I'm hoping that I've thought about it just enough to convey my points in an engaging way. What are the themes to the story I've written? I'm not entirely sure I can vocalize that too well without getting into stuff that is plot-oriented. But the series name is called Rites of Harmony, so I think there's some stuff in there just inherent to that. God, it's been like a freaking hour already. I've done nothing. Time do be flying. By the time I finish stream, Mask will be making lunch or something. What is this beachfront noise? I asked for music. Not beachfront property. The Great Waterfall, Monster Hunter 1. That's not very musical, if you ask me. That's just water. Man, they are just committed to this, huh? And now, silence. Hey, yo, can we get like a freaking like... Thank you. Just like anything. It's not ambience. Make me feel like I'm on Ambien. There was a tweet that was talking about the advertising for the new Indiana Jones movie. And I can't remember all of it. I just remember somebody commenting on it. Because it was like... The slogan for the poster or whatever, the online post, was for the new Indiana Jones movie, and it went, "The Hat Man is back, and this time he brought company," or something to that effect, and the tweet was like, "Me when I take 2 Ambien." And I didn't even know what that meant, but then I learned that apparently there was a sleep paralysis figure that appears for some people, for a lot of people actually, called the Hat Man. And he's just like he's just a dude in a trench coat, and he's like always wearing it. The trench coat is so important. Cannot iterate enough how important it is that he has a trench coat. If the Hat Man visit you, he will be wearing a trench coat, almost guaranteed. I mean, when I take 15 Benadryl, that's a lot of Benadryl. Yeah, but learning about the Hat Man that made that tweet very funny. I do enjoy it now. And almost it makes me wonder, like, why are there such a commonality? Why is there such a commonality between like sleep paralysis? Why is this a common thing? Why does everybody see Hat Man? Like, I feel like I would have no underlying traumatic experience that would lead me to see Hat Man over anything else. I feel like if anything, I would have witch lady, like there's like the fat witch lady. Not to body shame, I think that's just what she's called. So, and she like sits on top of you, and it makes it so you can't breathe. And not in a hot way, all right. She's like an old hag. It's gross. She's very now I'm being ageist. Oh no, so this stream is rife with negative material. I'm gonna get canceled. I haven't even gotten famous yet. You can't cancel me. I gotta have the arc. I gotta have a character arc, all right. I gotta get big first, and then you can show everyone this clip of me fail. I'm just digging the hole, digging my own grave. But there's the witch lady. She makes it so you can't breathe because she sits on top of your chest or whatever, and it's like, that sounds terrifying. And there's Hat Man. There's that dream dude, not like your dream guy, but like the dream guy, the one that a bunch of people... Have you seen this man? Apparently everyone has seen that guy's face. I have not seen that man. Unless we're talking about Guilty Gear, in which case I have seen that man. Man, I have not played fighting games in a minute. I'm just awake when everyone's asleep, and I'm asleep when everyone's awake, and I got no time. And when I'm not doing anything... when I'm not doing either of those two, I'm doing this for like 2 hours, and then I'm going right back to sleep. Oh yeah, I found a new webcomic. It was pretty good today. I'll bring it up. I'll just mention it because it was pretty cool. I don't normally read stories that put girl love or boy love in the title, or GLBL, as it is commonly abbreviated. Because if romance is your top billing genre, as opposed to something like action, fantasy, sci-fi, what have you, I'm probably not going to read it. Because people, that's just my personal observation with the romance genre. There's a much higher likelihood within the romance genre than others where they don't have any plot, where nothing happens. It's why I avoid the slice of life genre like the plague. Because every once in a while, they'll build that series that does something interesting with the format, with the formula, and they're like, oh yeah, this is good. I like this. It takes all the concepts that I normally would either, like, you know, that you would get so little of from good slice of life or romance series, and then they condense it into something unique or something particularly well executed. But most of the time, the romance genre, the slice of life genre, stuff like that, they just forget that things need to happen, and nothing happens at all. Conflict does not occur. And like I said, conflict is a very important tenet of storytelling. One of the 4 pillars, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to find this one that I just... It's called Facing the Sun on Webtoon. It's been very good. I don't know if it's elsewhere, but that's the one I started reading recently. I do love some romance manga. I haven't gotten too big into the romance genre for the reasons I mentioned prior. I've just been burned too many times by mediocrity or just outright boredom. Like, what is the point? There's no theme, there's no conflict, there's barely any characters other than male lead and female lead, usually. Especially if they're doing that harem garbage. Don't even get me started. And I will get started, so don't even do it. I'm gonna get so freaking started. Yeah, if it doesn't have sustenance or story, I get bored, and it happens so often in the genre is my problem. Like, at least if in a fantasy story, if there's not... Even if the characters aren't well defined, or they're not that particularly deep or interesting, at least you have, like, a fantasy world. Or some cool action sequences to chew on, usually. So at least a little bit of time will pass where you're like, oh, I could stick with this for at least a little bit longer before you get entirely bored. Or the series evolves into something actually good. But with romance, it's like, these are just people. I don't need people. I see people all the time. They're boring. Myself included. That's why I write stories, so I can forget how boring I am. I also love how they sometimes have other couples between the background character. Is that a thing that they often do? Sometimes I bet they're better developed sometimes, just in a cruel sense of irony. I gotta shift the perspective or something here. This composition is not interesting enough. I gotta skew it out now. No, I need to distort it? Is that what I'm doing? I forget what these do all the time. There's like 18 different transform options. Maybe if I just make him more of the focus in the frame. Yeah, that'll work. And maybe just a little bit less here. I really gotta beat this guy up, too. really gunk up those clothes here. What if his mouth is slightly agape? What if does that work? Is this anything? Let's see. What about slightly more agape? I wish there was a better word in the English language for that. Could just say open, I suppose, but that's boring. Nah. He looks like he's just sleeping if we do that. I wonder if I should give him some bruising. I need to look up what colors bruising typically is. I will note this is the first depiction of any sort of violent indication in this comic so far. It is on page 13, so it's not like too far into it. But it is noteworthy. This is the first. It's not even violent. It's implied that the violence happened earlier. And we don't even know what caused it. I do. None of y'all know. Alright. So yeah, I'm thinking now that I'm looking at the progress we've made and the progress we have yet to make. The line art getting done would be nice for this page at the very least. I don't even know how long we've been working on this page. Feels like a lifetime. We should also probably do the old flip canvas to know what's going on and what's not going on. See, this is why we do it. It's a little skewed, isn't it? We gotta unskew it. I've been drawing things with a little bit of a lean recently. I gotta unlean them. People be falling over slightly forwards every time. Get yourself upright, please. If you wouldn't mind. Kind of doing a thing here, and you being tilted is tilting me? Alright, now we can draw the line art. I've been looking at people on Twitter, and just in general, who have the ability to be dynamic with their line art. The old thick and thin method. I've never been able to do that digitally and have it look good. I've also never really been able to do that traditionally either. I think thin line art is just something I'm going to be cursed with. Not that it's a bad look. It just isn't. It doesn't allow for much expression, but I think it is. I guess it's all in how you decide to render your pieces, because I decide to go more painterly when I can. And I think that thinner line art does lend itself well to that, because it's not distracting. Or at least as much as bold line art could be from that kind of rendering. But then again, I've seen rendering in a painterly style with bold line art, and it can look cool. So maybe I need to analyze that some more and try to incorporate... I don't really practice doing bold line art because of the fact that when I try it, or when I've tried it in the past, it's looked bad. That's the thing. Like, you don't want to do the stuff that looks bad, because that means you gotta practice, and that's work. You just go, you fall into your comfort zone. That's easy. It's nice. They call it the comfort zone. I mean, my god, I'm gonna hang around here. Sounds like the kind of place that has beanbag chairs every 5 steps. So, you know, I'm gonna stay in the comfort zone. Until somebody forces me out of there. And that might just be me, but not today. Not when you're making a comic. That's a life pro tip. Never challenge yourself. Do what you know you can do exactly. That's what I'm saying. Also, welcome in, Stick. I don't want to be the one to say it, but if I have to, then I will. For example, the guy who made Birdemic, should he have made Birdemic? No, but he did. And now look what we got. We have Birdemic in the world. Is it a better place as a result? I don't know. That's not for me to decide. That's a philosophical quandary even the best of our scholars couldn't answer. On a good day. He absolutely should, and he did 3 times. He did make 3 movies, and he might be doing more as we speak. He could be committing crimes right now. What a bad move. That is an understatement. On the plus side, though, what a sick Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a rental, though. But, like, what a sick Mustang, though. That was definitely one of the Mustangs of all time. I did like how in the credits, the character, that hippie dude hanging out in the woods, they called him a tree hugger. He has a name, he said it to them. That his name was like Tom Hill or something. Todd Hill? I forget. And then the credits just called him Tree Hugger again. It's like he told you his name. The movie told us his name. Why do we gotta call him Tree Hugger again? Also, why are we using the term Tree Hugger? He's just a guy. Leave him alone. He was just sitting there being completely safe in his forest full of mountain lions. And fire. Did we ever address that? Like, he's dead, right? Like, he said, you're safe here in my forest, the eagles don't attack. And then, literally 30 seconds after he said that, a mountain lion showed up and the entire forest caught on fire. Like, he totally died. And there's nobody can dissuade me from that truth. Forest guy's probably chill. There's no way he's chilling after all that. He said, I'll catch you later, there's a mountain lion, and then everything caught fire. He dead. 100% he's dead. He's probably chilling 6 feet underground, maybe. Pushing up daisies. I like to think the movie got the word out about climate change early enough that we can fix things. Yeah, man. Yeah. The message has been read loud and clear. Those reports about it being 152 in Iran or something, literally unsustainable living conditions for humans and animals, I think we can still work with this. Let me live in my denial. Bro, I'm just trying to tell you. The people in charge of the world right now will not even live long enough to feel the full effects of this problem. Lucky bastards. Yeah, but that's over there. I mean, we got global world record heat waves. You know that I know that you know. You can't just hide from this one. Yeah, but that's over there. Why don't they make like their country and I ran away? Think about it. It's hot as hell. It's very hot, apparently. I live in the northeast coast of the United States, so I'm very much insulated from a lot of the worldly natural problems. Aside from the odd blizzard or two. Those tend to flare up every now and again over here. But it has been hot globally. Apparently record-setting numbers. All over the dang place. I live in Texas. Heck, this place. Yeah, that sounds pretty spicy. Or the toxic Canadian fire air. Yeah, we got some of that. Very nice. Very, very orange. Our skies were for a while. Which is, and I don't know if you guys know this. That is not the normal color of a sky, usually. This is the Porter Robinson Monster Hunter song. It's my favorite one. Not really, but it's always how I'll remember it. Maybe I should draw the battle damage in a deep red with a different brush when I'm ready to move to that point. Also, when did Canada decide it could start setting itself on fire? That's California's whole deal. I thought they had that one covered. Even when they weren't in their wildfire seasons, you had those gender reveal parties. For infants, setting the entire state ablaze. Like, oh, well, it had to happen some way or another. Where were the birds then? I ask you. Still can't wait for Birdemic in space. It's gotta happen. If it hasn't happened already, I don't know what happens in the second or third movie. It could get crazy. Now, I'm gonna probably be a little bit slower drawing this character for the first couple of times, because I did just settle on his character design yesterday. I had some ideas I was working with. I believe I brought up Hohenheim as a base of inspiration at some point. But I just needed a guy who looks like a doctor. Without being like a fantasy medieval type doctor, you know? Can't have him coming in with a stethoscope and a lab coat or something like that, or like khakis, can't do it. I've been trying to learn shogi. Have you been trying to atone for Stakes' lies? For the life of me, I cannot beat the lowest Ryu 10th adversary. Yeah, Shogi is weird. It's like Hyper Chess, Street Fighter Turbo Chess or something. I have no idea how that game works. I've played it every now and then, but I still would not say I understand it. I didn't lie, I just forgot. Who puts the ape in apricot? Is that even a line from that song? Am I just going insane? I did talk about having the Wizard of Oz on in my sleep recently. I think it's affected my waking hours at this point. I'm just thinking about the Wizard of Oz now, recently. I did lie. What did you lie about? Who puts the A on ape? Who puts the A in apricot? Is that a real line from the... I gotta look this up. Or am I just going insane? Who puts the glad in gladiator? Hercules? Whose dare and deeds make great theater? Hercules. Sorry. That movie's getting a live-action remake at some point. Very sad to hear that. Playing show. Yeah, who puts the ape in apricot? Yeah, I was so right. What makes a king out of a slave? Courage. What makes the flag on the mast to wave? Courage. That's a good movie. It's astounding that it's lasted as long as it has, though, in terms of the cultural zeitgeist. Any other movie from that era freaking died out a long time ago. Except for maybe, like, Citizen Kane or something. And I think Wizard of Oz is older, isn't it? I don't know. Could be mistaken. So y'all lying about playing shogi, I can't believe it. The shame. A shame upon you. A dark cloud upon your lineage. I cast. Magic missile, no. You guys know how to play Disgaea? I don't know how to play Disgaea, but I've seen Disgaea. I know it's the big numbers game. Headed on to the other clouds. I know that Swan has played Disgaea before, and I think Stove has played Disgaea as well. I don't know about jack squat about Disgaea. Or that Gaia, or whoever Gaia we talking about. I don't freaking know none of them. Played a similar game called La Pucelle on PS2. Let me look it up. Ragnarok. They made a tactics game about it. What? I love tactics games. Oh, this art style's freaking retro as hell, dude. There's a tactics game. Interesting. Whoa, that skirt is ill-fitting. Excuse me, character designers. You're not even trying. Could you at least give her, like, pants? Like, what are we doing here? This is not character design. I don't want to hear it. This is a lie. What is this, like, religious jumper? It's like a it's like a one-piece bodysuit with some crosses on the arms. Then you got this lady in this little girl in Victorian-era dress. And then you got, yeah, the nuns notorious for wearing skirts that don't even cover their, anything. It's how you maintain chastity is by revealing your entire body. No temptation. Also, if you... Maybe the Texas nuns be wearing stuff like that, and if that's the case, I demand proof. Purely for research purposes. Also, the phrase Texas nun is very funny to me. I imagine it's the kind of nun that would show up on like a bumper sticker, holding like just any kind of assault rifle. I don't know why, but that's how I imagine that would appear in Texas. Yeah, you've seen Texas nuns? Then hell yeah, dude. Oh, they're not nearly as interesting as I thought. That's not how ears look. Give me a second. You gotta do that. Then, whoo, there you go. That's better. It's more ear-like. Another video I watched recently was about covering Rob Liefeld. You might know him as that guy that drew that really bad Captain America drawing where his pecs stick out like freaking... Like, here's the head of Captain America. Here's his neck, and then his pecs are just freaking like, what is even going on? His arm would be like this long, but it's obscured by the shield. You've probably seen the image. But I watched a video on that guy, and it's really weird to see, because in the beginning of his career, it's almost like a Picasso-type evolution, where it happens backwards, where he starts off with pretty decent fundamentals. And then as his career progressed, he just got so bad at anatomy and perspective, and just everything was off and bizarre. Refrigerator Captain America, yeah, dude was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. In all of the wrong places. But that guy, Rob Liefeld anyway, he started off so good that he worked for Marvel, and I think he also DC earlier, I don't know, but at least Marvel for a long time. And he started building a comic book empire, like he opened up his own studio and stuff with just releasing independent comics. By the time he was like 25 or something. Like 2 years away from where I am now, he owned his own business and had worked at Marvel Studios, I'm pretty sure. If I'm recalling those videos, facts in the correct chronological order. And it's just insane to me that somebody who was renowned for being bad at their job nowadays was able to reach that level of acclaim. Like, at one point, he had the best-selling independent comic of all time. I think it was called Young Blood or something. Until he got usurped by Spawn. You might have heard of that comic. I've never read Spawn. I feel like I should read Spawn. Spawn coming from the same publishing company that made Invincible, I'm pretty sure. Much later. SD cards are cheap, right? Yeah, it depends on which one you get, but they should be pretty cheap almost universally these days. You can get like a full gigabyte, not full gigabyte, but like a full, you probably get a gigabyte SD card for like 2 cents now, but like 500 gigabyte SD card for not even that much these days. I'm telling you, man, cartridges are the future. They're going to start propping up where the discs once were and still are. It'll be the age of cartridges all over again when people just start, or when companies just start putting stuff on SD cards again. Or what is functionally an SD card. Nintendo's already doing it. They have the right idea. Technology's only going to get cheaper, and they're already there. At the doorstep. Right back to their roots. Sometimes things just come full circle. Gonna be Friday again, I just want to sleep. Brother, what do you think I'm gonna do in like 2 hours? Maybe not, yeah, like 1 hour. You can sleep whenever you want, that's what they don't tell you. You can sleep right now. Probably not right now. You're probably working right now. I forget sometimes that I do stuff when other people are doing the exact opposite. Like I'm awake when everyone's asleep. I'm asleep when everyone's awake. Let me count my money. I think I can afford it. I don't see you when you're sleeping. I don't know when you're awake because I work a nighttime job and I have no recollection of anything, really. Outside of these couple of hours that I'm doing this. That overnight shift makes life weird. Yeah, it does. For sure. My friend has a part-time job overnight currently. And I can only imagine how weird that is for your schedule. Because at least if mine, if anything, it's consistent. Like, I know when I'm going to go in and when I have to do things all the time. He's got part-time, nighttime job? Like, what? That's a nightmare. Or a night terror. No, we learned the difference last time. I know what a night terror is now. I'm prepared for this discussion. I loved it, though. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I could ever love this. My social life has gone in the absolute toilet. I only interact with a few people these days. Compared to the number I used to interact with anyway. Because I need to sleep. And they don't sleep when I do. When I sleep, they are playing stuff like Dota 2, which I would not play. But also like Dota and Overwatch and Sons of the... Just basically every co-op game on the planet. And then I wake up and I see them talking about it in the Discord. I'm like, oh, that would have been nice to be a part of, I suppose. Oh, well. And then I just go back to bed. What else am I going to do? I'll play Dota with you. I won't. I'll play Dota with no one. I will absolutely not play Dota. If I found the love of my life, my partner that we had everything, we were soulmates from the very beginning, and the only thing that she said, that she was like, the one thing I need to make sure, I need to make sure is right before I can put all of this together, set all of this in stone, is that you need to play Dota, I would lose her. 100%. Sorry, bye-bye. I'll find someone else. There's plenty of fish in the sea that do not play Dota. I got $2.80. Did you just like, when you said count your money, did you go into your cushions? What happened? I think his nose needs to be rotated. That's not where his... It's on this layer, thank you. Looks a little dislocated. Let's fix that. I don't consider myself a very technical artist. I was just thinking about Rob Liefeld's lack of fundamentals, and I'm like, I practice those. But I don't really consider myself good with any of them. Maybe mediocre at this point. It also has to do a little bit of, I'm sure a little bit with imposter syndrome and art saturation. Like you go on the internet for 2 seconds, you see the best art you've ever seen without even looking that hard. You can find the best artist you've ever seen every hour or so, if you just keep looking. Those are my savings. Well, I don't know how much SD cards cost. I also don't know what size you're looking to get. What is the purpose of this SD card that you've been discussing? Big, okay. That's fine, you don't gotta tell me. It's always good hiding the sketch layer and then being like, oh, I don't hate that. It's a miracle. Especially when you're very tired. All my school assignments are on my downloads folder. You could get a thumb drive or a flash drive. It doesn't necessarily have to be an SD card. You could just get an external. How much does a thumb drive? What's like a 32 gigabyte thumb drive these days? Let's just see how 32... Like a flash drive. Same thing. It's like $10, $12 for 32 gigabyte flash drive. Because I don't organize either. When I got this new PC, I just shoved every file that I could from my old computer onto a flash drive and then plugged that into this computer here. SD cards are cheaper? Is that real? 32 gigabyte SD card is $6. Okay, it's like half the price. You're right, you're right. You got me there. No, that's a tangent. You can't have those. Tangents are bad. And if you put them in their art, then you're bad. I don't make the rules. I probably won't draw this man as detailed as I am in the future pit, or as slowly like I was saying earlier. This is just because I settled on his design, and I want to make sure in the introductory panel, at the very least, I get it right. So he's taking up some time on the stream, faux show. I need to sit up straight. My spine is collapsing. Do I like that? That's always the question. The answer is usually, and that's good enough for most circumstances to move on. Do bigger and better things. Also known as a different panel. So I can stop staring at this one. Unfortunately, I must keep looking respectfully at this one. But I'm not looking I'm looking disrespectfully. I hate this panel. Not really. I will hate one of the other panels I have planned, though. Planned. This one right here. Another background panel. Yay! Also, Mask, I think you'll be relieved to hear, maybe, if you cared that much, that I did fairly easily, let me see if I can open it, fix that continuity error that I was previously fretting about. I turned that wall into a floor. I turned it into a floor, yeah, what happened to the wall? I turned it into a floor, and I'll hide the dialogue bubbles again. It didn't even take that long. I was making a mountain out of a molehill. The hard part was just isolating the characters so that I could draw in the thing behind them. But I did get it. I got the job done. Here, I'll show it in a second. Here it is. I just noticed the tavern fund, bro. That's been there like for months. It's been there for months. 14 bajillion. I think it's 14 million. I'm pretty sure that's the number that Stove gave me. That he calculated for what would realistically be required to start a fantasy tavern. So I have used his figure as a barometer for my own. And the only reason those $50 are even there is because he commissioned me to draw something, so... If you want to contribute to the Fantasy Tavern Fund, someday it'll happen. I'll be like Mr. Beast and open up my own restaurant. But that is not today. Anyway, here's the thing. I turned that wall into a floor, and it looked like a floor now. They stand in, and there's no wall behind them. It's just floor. I did it. I fixed it, and it wasn't even that hard. Also, I love that my chat window is over the little layers down here in the bottom right, because usually you'd be able to see what I called them. You can still kind of see it. Yeah, you could totally read that if you were looking hard enough, but like, I've made it difficult to read, at the very least. I'll commission one after I get money when the semester starts. You don't have to. You don't gotta feel pressured. I mean, after all, I'm the streamer who has a fake donate button on their page. I don't really care about it. I don't need them. I have a job now, so if anything, I'm in a better financial situation than I've been in years. So I'm doing just fine. But if you really want one, you feel free to get one. I will. Okay, Christ. Fuck, dude. Calm down. Oh, gee, I want to... Dude. Calm down. Chill out, bro. You can have one. God, dude. Just chill out. Somebody hold him back, dude. He's going crazy. Check his water bottle, dude. Was that water? I don't think it's water anymore. Freaking Triler is acting out right now, man. Artificer from Briskerain 2 to be specific, but that'll be a later time. That seems like it could be a cool one. Or bandit. So it's up to you. I have no opinions one way or the other on what you decide you want your commission to be. It is yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Which I should have made you aware is the only way I accept payment. I accept payment in Dragon's Hordes only. Or in terms of materials that you would find in a Dragon's Horde. Magical relics, crystals, all that. Gold coins. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get these this whole thing done in a reasonable time frame. Maybe we can get the base layer in, which is really all I want. I gotta finish the line art, do the but we got this freaking nightmare background panel. I hate myself. Oh, sometimes I think that I'm improving with my self-esteem, and then I do these things and I realize that I don't deserve my own love, let alone anybody else's. Like make myself draw backgrounds. But you gotta set up what your environment looks like. One of the things you don't want to do is fall into white room syndrome, which is where you barely describe the environment or the world, or even the room that your characters are in at all. Hi, Green Man, I'm not awake yet? Oh, that's spooky. How the hell are you typing right now? Welcome in. Subconscious mind of the bird lady that has somehow reached for the phone. I'll love you for a fee. My love is actually subscription-based. My love revolves around the Netflix model where if you're not in my house for more than 30 days, I will just forget you exist. And that's how it happens. I'm sorry. I can't love you anymore. That's the household policy. One household, too. Sleepwalking bird lady. She can't even walk. She's a bird. They waddle at best. And I'm tired of pretending they don't. My eyelids keep rebelling and wanting to stay closed. Don't talk about eyelids clothing? Don't talk about eyelid clothing because that's not real, but also don't talk about eyelids closing because I haven't slept yet. I guess eyelid clothing does exist. They do make sleep masks. So that is real, actually. Just go back to sleep while yes. I'd kill to take a nap right now. I shall lure you back to slumber with the soft resonant timbre of my silver voice. Let's not get too crazy. It's not a golden voice, all right? That's for the Morgan Freemans of our time. Also, I said lure. I meant lull. That's the word. Luring somebody to sleep sounds like some Nightmare on Elm Street type stuff, and I ain't doing that. No, 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 no. You don't gotta worry about that. I haven't died in a fire yet. Although, if Canada keeps being all spicy up there, I might just face that reality one day. Isn't sleep great, Zotan? I wouldn't know. It's all just the same to me now. I sleep so many hours, trying to figure out a decent schedule. I don't even know what sleep is supposed to feel like anymore. Yet? Swan, if you were going to commission me, and this is not a demand, but it could be. No, it's not. If you were going to, what would you want? We could broaden that to if you were going to commission anybody. What would you want commissioned? But we were just talking about my tavern fund earlier, so it's got me thinking. What would people want if they were going to commission me? Mask said the Artificer, a character from a game called Risk of Rain 2, and I do know what that one is. You know, if you keep a sleep schedule, you'd know what sleep is? No, no, no. I would just know when it happened. I wouldn't know what it truly meant. I'd commission patterns so I could use them and stuff. I don't do that. So that's definitely a response to the broader question. If you could you would commission people for pat. That's interesting. Having the rights to patter. You just make people do it for you. That's kind of smart. It's kind of what people do when they buy custom brushes anyway, I guess. And you just get somebody else to make the cool thing, and then you can use it. I commissioned a pic of me sleeping so I could at least pretend with the dogs out as well. Sockless. Shoeless, even. You should consider it because you're drawing a comic. I will draw everything by hand and then I will die. I won't die happy, but I'll die content. Like a man. At the age of 25, 3 chapters have been released. Zotan has been lowered into his grave. Am I doing grave or am I doing like cremation? I don't know. Maybe I'll get cryogenically frozen. Yeah. Put me in an ice cube. My dog is just snoring loudly behind me, rubbing it in. You sound young and naive. I thought I sounded pretty jaded when I was talking about dying in a wildfire earlier. And then Steak is the one with the naive optimism being all like, we can still fix it. And then it's just like, I don't forget it. Dude. I told him about the 152-degree weather happening in Iran right now, where you literally can't live outside, or else you will die. The animals can't, it's not suitable for them either. Everybody goes through a let's die in a wildfire stage. 20-somethings always think they're jaded. I think I'm more jaded. I'm more jaded than you are. Humph. I'm gonna go listen to Coheed and Cambria now. No, I'm not. But I could. I'm gonna go leave a comment on a Rage Against the Machine music video saying this is more relevant today than it ever was in the past. I see those people all the time. I'm gonna leave a comment that says you were born in the wrong generation. I was getting there. Maybe. I might. But now if I do it, it's just because I want to, not because you said so. Because I'm so jaded. I'm just all messed up, you know? Have you guys seen Spidoru's new animation? I don't know if you guys know who Spidoru is. Used to go by the name Speedo Sausage, but decided, quite aptly, I would say, that he didn't want his username to be an innuendo dick joke anymore. So he's Spidoru now. He made an animated short called Punch Punch Forever. Came out a day ago. It's really good. I would recommend watching it. Punch Punch Forever. See, yeah. Mask knows what's up. 20-year-olds think they have edited everything, even angst. But yeah, it's called Punch Punch Forever. It's very good. It's like a parody of anime in the best way possible. It's one of those animated, independently made shorts where you're like, once you get to the end, you just think to yourself, oh man, there's never gonna be an episode 2, is there? Huh? And then you just get a little sad. Because there's never an episode 2. Unless you're Worthy Kids, and even then, Worthy Kids hasn't made anything in a while. At least nothing that he posts on YouTube. It's like, I know he's probably busy doing commissions or something that actually keeps his lights on, but come on, bro. I'm an angsty 20-something-year-old. I need constant mental stimulation. Stop telling people about Olimar throwing it back at Times Square. But yes, do answer his question. Did you see that? No. Ah, you poor soul, you. Olimar knows how to throw it back, that's all I'll say. He's been practicing. I have not. Tell me more. You gotta go on Twitter, you gotta go look up... Actually, do I still have the post open? No. I gotta find it again. Found it? You could link it then if you found it. Make sure it's the right one. It's very important. Threw it back in a circle. He's doing it. Here it is. Yeah, buddy. Is this the lowest resolution? Oh, that's the playback speed. What the heck? Twitter sucks. Anyway. He's freaking going crazy. Look at him go. What's going on over here? Kevin Hart reality check? Oh, God. All these has-been comedians with their weirdly titled, suspiciously titled comedy specials. Might have to buy Pikmin 3. You got 4 of them to buy. What are you talking about? You gotta catch up. There you go. Why does this not show up? Show in all layers. Thank you, thank you. That's what I wanted. Only 4 days till Pikmin 4. I still haven't bought Final Fantasy 16. I'm so behind. Even if I did buy it, I don't know when I would play it. I would just own it for a while. You know, I never played one. It always looked fun and silly, though. I have played the first one and a bit of the third one. I never finished the third one, but I did want to. I need to sleep. Me too. How long do I got? I got like half an hour left, and I've done nothing. I said I was going to do the base layers today. Apparently I lied. It's just one of those pages. Like Spider-Man. Kind of like Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. It's a let's go Mets. It's about the Mets. Love the Mets. Alright, we'll see how this looks without my sketch layer. Actually not terrible, which is pretty crazy for me. I do gotta draw the battle damage on this lad, but that'll probably be all in the coloring phase. Flip that canvas horizontally, if you wouldn't mind. I gotta draw his glasses, I forgot. Yeah, he's got little glasses. I feel like my speech is becoming less intelligible as time goes on. The glasses kind of make him look like Colonel Sanders, though, and I don't know if I like that very much. Colonel Sanders. I can't eat at KFC. It just that food. Whenever I eat at KFC, it is what I would call a full-body negative experience. From the mouth to the esophagus to the well, you get the idea. I won't go into it because the food won't go into my body without issue. Apparently, I don't know what they do. I feel like they lace it. Specifically for me, when I go in, because my parents never have an issue with KFC. Anyone I've ever talked to, who I know in real life, they never have an issue with KFC. It's just me. And on paper, it seems like it should affect everyone negatively. It's like the most bottom-of-the-barrel fried chicken establishment in the world. And yet nobody seems affected. What is this black magic wizardry? Flip horizontally. I gotta edit the perspective a little more. You did not talk about Colonel's greatest gift to man. That's his greatest gift. Brother, where is the return receipt? Give me that thing. I am getting a gift card ASAP. For somewhere else. Popeyes even. Gonna return you for like half a used coupon at Chili's. I'll take it, man. I don't care. I'll get half a meal from Chili's as opposed to a full meal from KFC any day of the week. Popeyes, see, some people have elevated taste, and it's not the person whose name is a food, which is very surprising to me. Swans eat anything. Dang. Are you just gonna let him say that? Are you gonna let that guy say that to you? Or are you gonna fight? You're gonna stand up for what you believe in. Pollo Loco, freak fried chicken, roasted chicken on top. I can't argue well. I guess you could just take it lying down then. Where do your fighting spirit go? Should I make him take up more of the panel? That's the word. He's a human phoenix, yes, that's the word. And he rides a pair of flaming birds. I think I gotta make this dude's hair look more disheveled. Let's try it. Don't try it. Too late. I'm trying it. Trying it right now. That reminded me. See if I can find this. Oh, yeah. Wait, is this the one? It's gotta be the one. It's Revenge of the Sith, but every time Obi-Wan is on screen, Bringing Sexy Back plays. Let me see if this is the right one.
Because of Obi-Wan.
Because of what you've done. What you plan to
He's
do.
coming.
Stop. Stop now. Come back.
I don't know why I love this edit so much.
Liar!
It's true. Look at him go.
You're with him. You brought him here to kill me.
Oh, now we get Hayden Christensen acting. I forgot. He's so loud. That's really the only... You don't really need 4 minutes of that bit. Nobody needs 4 minutes of that. Can I zoom in properly? 4 minutes of that bit. Let's see. Do I have everything in place where it deserves to be? I got the battle damage. That'll show up later. We're gonna do that. I guess I could draw the faces now. Ow. Oh, I hate drawing faces. They always require more than one attempt. Ah, that's the wrong layer. I've been debating on whether or not I should put the eyes above or below the hair. It's a common artist error. A common point of contention in the art world. What do? Do you feign reality? Do you just feign ignorance on reality so you can make your expressions stand out even through hair? Through thick and thin? Or do you get rid of it just to convey, you know, just adhere to that little bit of realism? I don't know. I don't know what my style is more conducive to. I've kind of just been winging it, depending on the illustration itself. Maybe that's the best way to do it, but I don't know. I'd take it on a case-by-case basis. See, like this one, I think the expression is conveyed well enough to where I can just ignore the eyebrows, because normally I'd be drawing them like way up here. No, I wouldn't. But I would be drawing them. And here I don't think I need to. But I just can't decide when is a good time to ignore it and when is a good time to put the eyebrow or just anything that would be behind the hair in front of the hair. I don't know. Do you know? Does anyone know? If anyone knows, you legally have to tell me. Right now. And if you don't know, make something up. Whoops, that's given her a mustache. She doesn't have one of those, at least not in this page, maybe on another page. She did grow a head on one of the previous pages. Maybe she'll grow a stash. I have a stash. I didn't draw that on my goblin guy, did I? I don't think so. I'm checking. It's sad that I had to check that, but I did. Maybe that'll be a different future model. That'll be my character growth. Most people overcome their flaws. I overcome facial baldness. Doing not. I can't just do a mustache. Yeah, it's like a whole life-altering decision when you decide to have a mustache. You can't just do that. You gotta build up to it. It's like when you decide to get a perm. Like, that's like a whole look that you're gonna have to adhere to. I don't think anybody gets perms, though, so nobody's had to worry about that for a while. I'm not even entirely sure I know what a perm is anymore. I know it involves curling the hair. That might literally be it. What if you curled your mustache? Ah, now there's a thing. Now, I had a mustache at one point in real life, not on my goblin. Which is not a euphemism. But I had a mustache in real life at some point that was long enough to where I could start curling it into one of those handlebar mustaches you would see in like an old-timey Western movie. And when I started doing that, I didn't put any product in my in the stash, but I just like did it a little bit manually because you could just kind of get it to do that. My mother did not approve at all. She thought it was very cringe. I thought it was very funny that she thought it was cringe, so it only made me want to do it more, but I ended up not doing it. But I still think about that sometimes. Like, if I ever get to that length again, I'm half convinced that I might just go full curly handle, like full weirdo. This dude cosplays as a steampunk hairdresser from some steampunk salon, you know, in his downtime. That kind of aesthetic. The kind of look that says this guy owns and operates one of America's first bowling alleys or something like that. I don't know. Your mom is I know she is. But that's why it would be funny. Listen, I'm an angsty 20-something-year-old guy. We have crazy ideas. Like doing something stupid with our mustache. America's first bowling alley. What do you think the first bowling alley looked like? I bet it was really dumb. I bet there was a guy that had to manually reset the pins. They didn't even have automatic pin resetting. Now that I'm thinking about it, the first bowling alleys must have been so garbage. It might have been a literal alley. I don't even know. That's gotta be why they're called that, right? Maybe the guy who first made the pitch for bowling looked like a freak. Yeah, a freak. I would look at him like a freak. Especially with that mustache he had. Freaking weirdo. What are you, curling it upwards? Down on planet Earth, we abide by this thing called gravity. I don't know if you heard about it. Your mustache is going the wrong direction. How big is this pupil compared to this one? Oh, that looks that looks Junji Ito-esque, what I've done. I'm gonna put that back. Oh, now that looks even better. All right, let's be serious for 1 second. Second over. Now let's put it back. Wait, we should do this, and then we should just use the shift. Whoosh, just move it completely horizontally over. She still looks cross-eyed. I gotta fix that again. No, don't do that. Let's move this a smidge, a skosh even, if you would. And you should, because that word is a good word. Why don't we use that one anymore? I wish I could grow a great old-timey mustache. My face would never be naked or underdressed again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I wish I could grow a big old-timey wizard beard. I can't do that, but if I could, I'd be rocking that even now. I don't have the genes for it, and I never will, and that's the saddest part. I wish I could do that. I would do the full Gandalf at age 23. But I can't do that. I'll never be able to do that. Best I could do is wear a fake beard, and that's not even fun anymore. There's some competitions in this world that you just got to face the facts that you'll never be able to compete adequately in, like those fancy beard competitions. They have those. Some of those guys go crazy. They like shape it into a box around their head. I don't even know how they do it. Like weaving baskets off the end of their face. Gotta spend 2 hours and it feels like I've done nothing. But I know that's not true. I've done so much. Are we out of music? No. My music. No, 1 hour of Sonic music for the summer. What a niche playlist. You have my interest. No, that's too upbeat and cheerful. I need something more somber and melancholy. The entirety of the Avatar movie. Could buy or rent that? No, I won't. Why are all the Sonic playlists all upbeat and stuff? Funky, groovy Nintendo music? What does that sound like? No, I can't. I just can't do... I don't know what it is about the stream. I can't listen to upbeat music when I'm doing art streams. I don't know how people do it. There's Meat Canyon. That dude listens to, like, heavy metal sometimes, from what I've heard when I stop in, occasionally. I just need the most ambient, but not, like, literal ambient music. I just need something that can be in the background. I've gotten used to vocals, though. But only certain vocals. We're doing the Okami one again. Because I like this one. Meat Canyon, we gotta team up. Oh, man. I could not get on Meat Canyon's level. I could not even meet him, pun a little bit intended, halfway. I saw his most recent video on his second channel where he talks about that video that's going viral of a dude removing butt hair. Just fully on camera on YouTube, and the only reason they haven't removed it is because he calls it an educational video. And it's just like, YouTube, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? We all know what he's doing. And we all know what you're doing. And I don't approve of this. Children could see that video because it's deemed educational. And that is messed up, dude. Get that video off the platform. The fact is, people reacting to that video to make fun of how YouTube has it on their platform have to censor the video in their videos. Because their videos don't have the educational tag, his does. But it's truly bizarre what they let you get away with. As long as you just say you got it's for people to know better. The tutorial is straight and to the point though, I gotta say. I haven't watched the original, but from what I hear with all these these people who are reviewing that video, it's like 3 minutes. That's the most to the point tutorial that's ever existed. Oh, and he also made a YouTube short video making fun of those NPC live streams. Have you guys heard of that? Because that's a new thing that's happening on TikTok. So you know it's unhinged. The NPC live stream. It's very bizarre. It's like the Oblivion NPC memes, except way worse. They are, yeah, they're pretty bad, pretty weird. And it's all just fetish content, which is the worst part. I didn't realize the NPC fetish was a real thing though, so at least I learned something. Something was brought into my lexicon. Nothing was awakened, I'll have you know, but I know about it now. I don't have the NPC fetish. I think I would know. The only emotion I felt while watching those was being thoroughly creeped out. Time to make a TikTok, Zotian. I was planning on making it, but only for the comic when I was planning on releasing it. I was gonna make like a little trailer. I was gonna try and be cute about it. I might put some like music. I might pay a dude on Fiverr to compose some little backing track. I don't know. I don't freaking know, dude. Sure. I don't have the NPC fit. I would know. I can't draw this freaking eyeball right, dude. If you wanted a significant other or a partner with like 3 or 4 pre-programmed functions, you could just date your vacuum cleaner. And I do not want to date my vacuum cleaner. I don't know, the future's gonna be kind of weird, not with me and my vacuum. Is vacuum Gajinka a thing? I'm looking this up. I shouldn't, but here I go. Oh no, it's real. Why did I think it wouldn't be? I mean, it just means like it just means some anthro thing, right? So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that they've done that to a vacuum cleaner already. Horizontal flip. That's a pretty decent fate. I think the features are placed pretty okay there. And that is good enough for me at the moment. I might change my mind, but for now, that is fine. Oh man, I should be ending stream right now, but I want to finish this line art, at least these characters. I gotta do the characters, man. I gotta freaking do it. Time for a little nap. Don't do the Emperor Palpatine mask. You're gonna get freaking caught unawares by Rey Skypatine. No matter how tempting the chair looks, you must resist. Also, you can't nap yet. I'm not done streaming, and I'm supposed to be the one who naps. I'm the one who naps. I can find a chair perfect for my little body. No. Don't do it. You haven't even done the hard work of regenerating yourself for like 30 years. Now we just draw this hand. Oh yeah, I remember why I didn't draw this one. Okay. It's all flooding back to me. Let's see if we can't get this done. Stop yawning. Thank you. Let's see if we can't get this one done real quick. Just bang out a quick hand here. Not to be confused with handing out a quick bang here. The energy drink, you perverts. What's wrong with you? Is it the CEO of Bang that dresses up like a total psychopath? I think it's him. I saw a decent tip that somebody had on YouTube, which is to draw one side of the fingers on a hand that you're drawing. God, this one, though. How did I get it to look decent in the sketch? I can't get it to look good elsewhere. Well, yeah, you draw one side of the finger so that you don't have to worry about overlap until you're already doing it. Until you're already constructing the rest of the digits. Only to move this. Your hands are difficult. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If they tell you they're easy, they're lying. If they tell you they're impossible, well then they're probably exaggerating a little bit. It's both ends of the spectrum, really. This looks like a decent enough starting point. I think we can work with this. Certainly not that way, though. Well, that just looks ridiculous. Maybe he just doesn't have a thumb in this panel. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's draw the thumb first, try a new approach. The thumb first approach. Which is not how you should handle opening cans of soda. I've seen people do it. You get your thumb caught in there, it's a bleeder, it's a bad experience. I drew it on the eyeball there? What am I, insane? See, the sketch looks fine, it's just when I actually try to apply it is the issue. I know the basic shape this needs to resemble. To be decent, I just can't seem to get it right. What song is this? Theme of the Moon Tribe from Okami. Now we are on Dragon Palace from the same game. You're welcome, no problem. Add it to your playlists, add it to your Pandora. Does anyone even use Pandora? No? Doesn't surprise me. Add it to your Spotify Premium. I don't have Spotify Premium. I should get it, though. Because all the other basically what I just do normally is use YouTube. I don't even use YouTube Music. I just find the song on YouTube. What is Pandora? That's the correct response to anybody asking if you use Pandora. It's basically the radio. And that's it. You start off with a selection, you start off with a song or an artist or a genre, and it cultivates a station for you, TM, which just plays music vaguely similar to the thing that you started. So it's garbage, and I don't know how it's just the radio. I just felt extra old just now. Well, you should. If you're using Pandora, it's the radio. I used to use Pandora. Well, when you're an angsty 20-something like me, these things pass you by. The radio is cringe, I agree. Sometimes they don't even play the whole song. Yeah. You got radio edits. Never fun. I prefer Spotify with an ad blocker. You just use an ad blocker straight up on that? I don't know if I could do that. Can you just do that on your phone? Through the app? I've never tried. I guess my problem with Spotify isn't the ads, it's the fact that you can't choose the order that you want to play songs in anymore. For the longest time you could do that, but now it's on shuffle by default unless you get Spotify Premium, which is what makes me very upset. Because I ain't buying your freaking service. I ain't buying the right to unshuffle my music. I'll just go on YouTube until the videos get taken down. You guys probably never had to run from the other route to record a song on a cassette when it came on the radio. Could not be me. Could not be further from myself. And then when you got it on cassette, did you run over to your rotary telephone and tell all your friends about it? Sorry. Sorry. Reported. Pulled out your canvas map to figure out where your friend was so you could go visit him and tell him all about it. I had to call people on a landline. Then you went outside in your covered wagon and took a 3-day journey to their house through the desert. Let's flip this horizontal and see what we're working with. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, I think we can just do this final little bit These little characters, even though I have to add more, because otherwise it's like, where did the background guys go? If they're not in this wide shot here, I have to put them, like, rooting around or so, looking through cabinets or something. I'll make them do something. And they will be there, rest assured. But for now, we gotta hide this. Make this very low opacity, and then draw them here. I actually kind of like drawing wide shot characters because they require so much less focus and effort. You could just kind of really slap them on the canvas. No one's gonna, because they're gonna look like this. Ain't nobody gonna see that. And if they say they can see how bad you drew things from that far away, they're lying. Ask for the results to their last eye exam immediately. That'll shut them up real quick. And then they'll be like, well, show me the results of your last eye exam. And then you'll be like, and then you'll be at an impasse at the very worst. And that's much better than conceding outright. If you both lose, it's much better than one of you losing. Even if they know that you have terrible eyesight, which I do, so this argument is definitely a possibility for my future. And drag him down with me technique of debate classic. Yeah, the old 8 Mile strategy. Gotta insult myself before they can insult me directly. Gotta take all their insults away from them. Such a tiny drawing. No, that's a tangent. Oh, but I don't care enough to fix it. It's so small anyway. See, that's a hand, kind of. From far away, anyway. And that's all that matters. Does it kind of look like what you wanted to from far away? If so, good. If not, good. No one's gonna even notice. Just don't tell them. When this comic comes out, nobody tell them that I didn't care about this little miniature drawing. A napkin doodle, really. My hand is large. Seems so much larger than in the sketch. How did these knee pads look? Did I even focus on... Oh god, there's so many waist-up shots because nobody cares about the legs on character design, myself included. Unless I'm drawing muscular people, which I'm not doing yet. Ain't nobody muscular in the early chapters. You gotta earn the muscles, alright? That's later chapter material. Maybe even Patreon exclusive chapter material. No, I wouldn't do that. But I could. I just won't. People be asking me all the time in my head, Zotan, are there muscular people in your comic? Yes, a lot of them. Just not in the first chat. You gotta stick it out, alright? People these days, with their instant gratification and their TikTok, they just want everything immediately. Does it ever trouble you how all these high schoolers are absolutely yoked in anime? Yeah. A little bit. Definitely a proprietor of those unrealistic body standards. And the huge bazongas as well. On not just the female characters, on the male characters as well. You know exactly what I mean. Like they bumped a weight and blew up with yeah, pretty much. Freaking Jotaro, he's like what? He's supposed to be 16? Or whatever? Okay. Sure thing, buddy. That dude has been held back 40 times. That is a middle-aged man. Wait, I have this. I have the design. I have a page with his legs in it. I remember now. Certified muscle mommy moment? No. No. Not yet. There will be a couple of those in my series, though, I can guarantee that. Absolutely not 16. It's like when they hire adults to play high schoolers, and it's Ryan Gosling, yeah. Like when Tobey Maguire was already, like, 28 or something. And he had to be in high school for the Spider-Man movie. Luckily, it kind of worked with him, though, because he was baby-faced to begin with. But, like, the dude they cast to play, like, what is his name? Flat Crash? What is his name? I forget. What is Peter Parker's bully's name? Yeah, his name is Eugene Flash Thompson. Now, I just want you to tell me honestly, when I show you, think of a number for when this man appears on screen, and the age that you think you would assume this actor is. When I put it, if the age, would you place this actor anywhere between the ages of like 15 to 18 years old? In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, look, guys, it's just a high schooler. Yeah, that is a high school-aged man right there. I've seen so many high schooler. When I was in high school, everybody looked like this. That is a high schooler. You guys see high schooler? That's a high schooler. This guy goes to the cafeterias. Definitely does not teach the classes. Definitely isn't old enough to be the father of any of the children in the high school. This is a high school-aged man. Can't believe they went with this casting choice. It was the age where they were doing that, but I can't believe that was an age we had to begin with. No, it's just your classic 30-year-old, 18-year-old. He's selling me a used 2014 Toyota at the car lot. He is. And he's been doing it for years. His dad handed him the business down 5 years ago. How do you do, fellow kids? Did I draw his feet? I did draw his feet. No, this wouldn't fly. It would be in roughly the same angle. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not thinking clearly. Which means this would be a little bit more pronounced in this direction. It's be like this. I think one of the legs might be a little bit too exaggerated. The lady should be a lot easier to draw. She usually is. She just has more organic shapes. Just wearing a dress, it's easy. Loose, flowing clothing. Covers up all the anatomy. You don't gotta do nothing. No mechanical engineered shapes either, as with armor. I can't wait till I get to draw the main cast of my comic for like hundreds of pages, maybe even thousands of pages. If I'm being honest with myself. Because their designs are so much easier for me. That's why I drew them as the main characters in the way that I did. Because they're so much they're in the way that it's in my comfort zone yet again. Never leave the comfort zone. It's so much better being in here. I was looking at some Reddit posts about about a page from My Hero Academia, a recent chapter. I believe it was 394 that had come out. Because people were making a bunch of memes out of one of the panels about, I forget her name, Gravity Girl calling the Blood One. I'm sure it's a very accurate, I'm sure you all know exactly what I mean, just based off of those. Basically forgiving her, essentially. Well, they weren't, like, forgiving her. The blood, was her name Toga? I think it's Toga. That sounds right. Like, not directly addressing the fact that she's a serial killer, but, like, not... it seemed like letting him off way too easy. It was a scene where... essentially... It was one of those scenes where, in modern storytelling, you see this all the time. The villain is getting, you can see it happening, the inklings of a redemptive arc, even though they definitely do not deserve it. So, like, this serial killer character is borderline being forgiven for their atrocities by one of the protagonists. And it's like, it could be handled so much better than just outright forgiving a villain for being a villain. Like, there are times in a story where you could just say, no, this one don't deserve it no more. They killed too many dang peoples. Yes, so we're forgiving war criminals. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems such like a common trope in my... Because, like, the sympathetic villain has become such a popular thing in storytelling these days, that I think people just don't seem to realize that it doesn't work all the time. It's not a unanimous... You can't just use the trope everywhere. It doesn't work that way. But they will try. They will try and forgive the war criminals. And it made me think about, I was reflecting on it because I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I have a character in this story planned out way later. And I had this whole scene in my head about when they are confronted for doing what they do. And I was thinking to myself explicitly, this character cannot be, like, they're gonna, even if the monologue is, like, you're gonna help us out now, it would be, the whole point of the scene would be like, I can't forgive you for what you've done, but you still have a chance to do something right and fix what you started. You know, like, that's the idea of this. I was patting myself on the back. I was being like, oh, I have good writing tendencies without even knowing it. I'm so smart and handsome. I was doing all that as a result of seeing, it's almost refreshing to see people rag on tropes that are showing up in modern media, even in something as popular as My Hero Academia, because it's like, it makes it feel more attainable. Like, you could do something up to that quality, if not better. All you gotta do is be careful. And not do stuff like forgive war criminals, you know, just basic common sense stuff. I mean, it is Toga, though, so maybe we cut her a little slack. No. I've seen the sad backstory panels that she has. It's just like, she still killed, like, a lot of people? Like, a lot of them. I don't think you could just forget, like, if it was, like, a few people, maybe. If it was, like, she killed, like, an old guy who was robbing a bank at gunpoint, maybe that's a little bit, it's like, he was robbing a bank, and he was old anyway, it's like, maybe. But if she's like, she kills, like, everybody. She killed, like, an arsonist who was hanging outside of an orphanage a little too late at night. You're just like, hey, what are you doing over there? Maybe it would have been fine. But she just killed, like, innocent people. And this most recent chapter, apparently, is just like, they're all buddy-buddy now. And I am really out of... I will never catch up with My Hero Academia. At this point, I have resigned myself to that fact. I will never pick it back up again. But stopping into this recent Twitter whole thing about it has been interesting, to say the least. To see people just rant about it. Yeah, but she was, like, really, really sad. Yeah, so that makes it okay. You know what? You're right. I hadn't thought about it that way. Now I'm on board, actually. Justice for Toga. Free Toga. Toga did nothing wrong. The Toga did nothing wrong apologists are definitely going to come out of the woodwork now. Alright, now we gotta draw a sword. Also, her face is smiling all the time, so you can't even really tell when she's sad. It's fine. Are those tears of joy? I don't know if you can know. Now I gotta erase this part. And then I gotta erase this part. That should be good. Maybe if we do the little finger lines here. Do I like that? I don't know. I guess we can flip it and find out. Should be good though. It's just a tiny little drawing. It's just a tiny little one. I think, now that I'm looking at it, I made them lean again. Not thin, just leaned over. Gotta skew them back. This keeps happening. And I think this leg needs to be rotated. It's a little out of perspective. Fix yourself. That looks better. Maybe this guy's a little bit... Maybe he could be leaned back to where he was. He is kind of leaning forward anyway in his original pose. Yeah, that looks better. Flip him on back. And the sword was on his left side, so this is on his left side. Okay, I just got... It's continuity, everyone. You gotta pay attention. You don't gotta, but you should. Alright. And with that, I think we are good for today. I didn't do any of the base layers, but I did finish the line art, which is, I guess, fine. The panels that we did get done, I think I like how they turned out. This expression's fine. The doctor dude turned out pretty good. I like the composition of this panel. It's pretty alright. It's weighted on the thirds. We got the face here, and the hand turned out pretty decent. Good progress. Thank you. Thank you. We got these little dudes here, and now we just, next stream we'll definitely do the flat colors and maybe start the background. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I do have to touch up some of these other panels before I go putting words on them, but I do like having no words on them for now so that I can easily reference them later. Looking good, thank you, thank you. This is how I feel, though. We'll just hang out on that before I transition over. Oh. I feel like I own one of America's first bowling alleys. Where is my... There it is. Thank you all for stopping by. Tomorrow I will try to stream. I've given up on saying that I will do things. I will try not to fall asleep. But if I am awake and well and alive and thriving and moisturized and in my lane, then I will be streaming at the same time tomorrow. Doing the same exact thing that I always do until the prologue of this comes out. Dang it. So, yeah. You should sleep. You should sleep. Yeah, that's right. You ever think about that? Anyway, yeah, thank you. Good night. Yeah, I will be going to bed. Yeah, it's a good thing you said good night, and never say good evening. That's a nightmare. You can only say that if you're from Romania, and you can only do it in the voice of Dracula, of one Nicolas Cage. I'm awake now, so take that. How dare you? Have a good sleepy time. I will. Swan has made me so angry that I'm gonna go to sleep. And bye-bye.